back to our top story in Boksburg, where the families of the gas explosion victims are still trying to come to terms with yesterday's deadly incident. We now cross to our reporter Erin Bates, who is following that story for us. Erin, good morning and Merry Christmas to you, and not so merry for those in the area of Boksburg. I mean, it's been 24 hours since that deadly explosion. What's the mood in Boksburg this morning?
Yes, morning Katlego. We're standing at the site of those deadly explosions yesterday. It was at the bridge just behind me here that liquid purified petroleum gas, I should say, explosion took place. Liquefied petroleum gas in that tanker, which got caught underneath this bridge. Where we are now is where many of the injuries and fatalities occurred in those series of blasts. As you say, it was just some 24 hours ago, and just getting a sense of the aftermath of that explosion. Residents nearby still taking in the scenes. We've seen some community members from Reiger Park as well coming to see what the needs are amongst members of the community here in Boksburg South, in Plantation. In fact, we found a 5 Rand coin, what's left of it, on the floor here, or the tar, you could say. Also, the debris of various vehicles. We're going to move out of the danger zone, obviously not going too close because of the integrity of that bridge being a concern. We do understand that Integrated Staffing Solutions, which is the tanker company, has begun a forensic investigation. They're saying the driver who was taken to have his injuries attended to was properly trained and qualified. He'd had a recent medical examination to confirm that he was fit for his occupation, driving that liquid petroleum gas, and they are doing a full forensic investigation this morning. But this is what's left of those scenes yesterday. As we heard from Panyaza Lesufi, Gauteng Premier, the official death toll at the moment, some 9 fatalities. We heard 50 injuries, including, of course, severe injuries. Many people incurring third-degree burns. And just to remind you what this scene looked like yesterday, roughly this time of day, let's just remember what the explosion actually looked like. Let's have a look.
Now we have received the latest figures, and if they have been updated, the team will also update us. That when we entered this space, 9 fatalities were reported. These are the fatalities that can be accounted for, and these are the fatalities that have been verified by our team.
Bodies, video ready, please. All right, we're going to keep moving up this road. This, of course, is Hospital Street, OR Tambo Memorial Hospital to my left. This is where the emergency section of the hospital was actually impacted by the blast. We understand, I think it was some 27 odd people affected at that hospital, including staff and patients. And this has put a lot of strain on the Gauteng health infrastructure, you could say. We heard that people were being airlifted, also moved to nearby hospitals, including Polosong. That, of course, is where one of the family members of the Mashabas I spoke to yesterday passed away. Others is in ICU at another nearby hospital. But just to reflect again on what happened here just a day ago, it was along this grass verge that we saw people wailing in distress after incurring those third-degree burns. These houses are amongst the houses that were surveyed by Islamic Relief, bearing the brunt of those several blasts yesterday morning. In fact, you can still see some of the charring on the grass here from the impact of those explosions. And this is all now under investigation. We've seen police on site. Of course, there were forensic personnel here yesterday, along with paramedics. If you're hearing a quiver in my voice, please forgive me, but it is quite something, of course, having been here yesterday and being back again today, to just have that sense, that sort of chilling aftermath of what was a death scene, and to be here knowing that there are families in these neighboring roads that are either grieving or on tenterhooks praying for their loved ones who are in critical care in ICU and other, wards at hospitals around the area. We will continue to keep you posted throughout the day. But, of course, the families of those here in Plantation, Boksburg South, hopefully on the minds of many people this Christmas morning.
No, they certainly are, Erin. But before I let you go, we do know that some of the survivors were placed or relocated into some care. Do we know how they're doing this Christmas morning after such a tragic day yesterday?
Well, I did speak to a ward councillor from Ryger Park moments ago. For those families who stayed in their homes, sort of shattered and beaten as they were by those fatal explosions yesterday, they're looking to see what food they may need this Christmas day, looking to find out what the numbers are of those affected. I've got to say, I don't know of families being relocated to other shelter overnight, but you may have information on that you can share with our viewers. We do know that the likes of Gift of the Givers are involved in providing medical support as the medical sort of community, medical professionals tend to the wounds of those who were injured in those explosions. Some 50 odd we heard at last count. Bear in mind that death toll of 9 highly likely to rise. In fact, it was Imtiaz Suleiman of Gift of the Givers who said that it was well above that at about 11 at his count, last we heard into the evening last night, and very likely to rise considering the scenes that were here. I must tell you, from one image alone shown to me by a bystander, an eyewitness to those deadly attacks, there were 10 bodies in that picture alone. People who'd run through after the initial explosion to come and help, to simply take it in. And what a human and natural response to something so shocking, so extraordinary, to come out in your numbers having been shook awake in the early hours of yesterday morning, or sort of after 6 yesterday morning, to come and see, to get out your phone and film it. And it's that gathering of people at this very precarious and deadly site of that gas leak that then led to those scores of injuries we've heard about since.
All right, Erin, we will keep in touch with you throughout the day as the rolling coverage of the story continues. It's very devastating, and we truly hope that the people of Boksburg, and especially those affected, will be able to get as much relief as possible. Thank you for that update. That's Erin Bates out in Boksburg, who is our reporter, giving us that story there. Now, for